I usually try to drink at least two, and I didn't even finish one of them. So I know that's probably why.
I keep my water bottle, but today it was hot in my room, so I ain't feel the need to drink.
Alrighty, we are live, ladies and gentlemen.
Alrighty.
Oh my
Woo,
god.
Who
woo.
used to say that? What was that? What's that man's name? Jim Carrey?
Alrighty then. We're
My
gonna
granddaddy
dive
said
right
that.
into it. We're gonna
That
dive
leads us
right into
into
the
our next
podcast
topic.
today. We're gonna
Actually, it
listen.
doesn't. I'm just saying that, you guys.
We got we don't have a lot to talk about, but it is something that I do deem to be very important. So these last couple of weeks have been a little rocky for WWE specifically because of the releases that they've done, and they have been rumored to do more cuts. There have been more people who are on the chopping block, and it has a lot to do with the size of their contracts and whether it is
Who got birds back there?
It's me, child. All these birds have found a
Oh,
nesting spot in these houses. It's annoying.
outside.
I know it's at
So
the zoo. What's going on?
Yeah, the sun is set. They're doing their calls to get everybody home.
So the first thing we're gonna talk about is the business of WWE, and then we'll go into Money in the Bank predictions, and before we do Money in the Bank predictions and Worlds Collide predictions, we'll talk about Mariah May and her debut because her debut also plays into the business of WWE, and I want to make some clear points for y'all so you kind of understand what's happening here with this company and how things are going. So first I want to play y'all a Instagram post from a content creator just like me when it comes to wrestling. But I want you to hear what he says when he's talking about WWE, TKO specifically, because TKO is the parent company, and how they are cutting contracts and why he deems it to be.
So now it's being reported that TKO's strategy behind all of these recent releases is crystal clear. They're cutting high paid talent just to bring in cheaper replacements. It's no longer about who's over. It's not about potential. It's about the price tag. We've already seen names like Braun Strowman get cut. Not for performance. Apparently he was just making way too much money. This isn't random anymore. It's policy now, and it's only going to get worse. TKO is undercutting the entire roster. And if you're a vet with a big deal, you're a target. Because they can bring in someone younger, greener, and cheaper and pay them a fraction of what you made. That's their new formula. And while that's good for profit margins, it creates a dangerous ripple effect. It literally lowers the ceiling for everybody. Why would they ever pay top dollar again when they could just keep the next guy hungry and underpaid? And some of the same fans that are being priced out of live shows are online defending this model saying it's just business. But if you care about wrestling, ask yourself, what happens when the best talent stops going to WWE because it doesn't pay? What happens when everyone's simply replaceable? That's why promotions like AEW and TNA need to stay strong. Because honestly, WWE isn't a dream job anymore. It's a cost-cutting machine. And if nobody ends up pushing back, the whole industry will suffer. But let me know what you think in the comments.
All right, so let's unpack it for what it is. Okay,
Hmm.
I, I understand a lot of people don't like the cost cutting measure. What you fail to realize is that all promotions do this. This isn't a new thing, and they were doing this before TKO took over. What I don't like about this message specifically is that it narrows it down and targets WWE as if they're doing something that is wrong per se, and they're not looking at the entire picture or to that. And I said, well, it costs WWE $2 to $3 million per every episode that they put on, right? For every show. WWE puts on 3 shows a week. You do the math. I mean, if we're talking, let's go for the largest amount. They're putting on $3 million shows for Raw and SmackDown. That's $6 million for 4 weeks out of the month. That's a lot of money. Then you have to factor in the money they have to pay out for venues, the money they're paying to superstars. All of that is factored into the budget and the bottom line. I'm not
Yes.
picking up for WWE, but I'm saying you guys have to use your brains and not just think about what you're seeing on television. This is a machine. At the end of the day, it is about business. And no, he's right. WWE is no longer the dream, and it doesn't have to be because there are other promotions that can provide you this model in the first place. Okay? So, what you should be asking is this: why is WWE cutting the bigger contracts? Right? You're looking at it from a business standpoint, not from your opinion or your emotions, straight from your logic. The larger contract, look at Braun Strowman since he brought him up. Braun Strowman wrestled part time. He was not seen on TV every week. He wasn't even at the live and house shows as often as some of the bigger stars were. Not to mention, Braun Strowman had multiple injuries that were crippling. And you could tell when he would walk down to the ramp, he had a little limp, like he was having trouble walking. This is what you prioritize as someone who should have been kept on the roster. And for me, I'm not saying it in terms of, oh, to do for the company and for fans. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at what he can continue to do. Can he perform? Can he provide me with the same level of entertainment that I am paying him for? The answer to that would be no. Now, when you look at R-Truth, that's a different story. R-Truth was not being booked to be on television every week. And he was somebody that was either helping a story move forward or he added comic relief to something else. He really wasn't integral in any story per se. I still believe that he was somebody that gave some lightheartedness to the show when it needed to be there. So for me, he would need to be there, right? But if I'm thinking about it from their standpoint, I can understand why they cut his contract. They didn't just that we just part ways. Fine by me. You get paid by what you're worth. You don't take what they're offering you, you get paid your worth. And he chose to walk. And I don't blame him for that. Not at all. What I want people to understand is what this content creator is talking about is not going to happen. And the reason why is because you cannot just take an NIL person or a person off the street that they're training and throw them into the middle of the WWE and think the fans are just going to immediately get behind him. It doesn't work like that.
And plus, like, people. So I agree and disagree with him at the same time. I do agree, and this is a business, and this is, like I said, I think I've talked about it before. The company I'm currently in also is doing, I don't say very similar, but doing like a lot of budget cuts and a lot of cutting, like figuring different ways to like save money and X, Y, and Z. A lot of companies are doing it, especially now, like right now. This is very, very common. But at the same time, you can't really use that argument because they signed someone like a Mariah May. Like, mind you, she might not have been making as much as she was making at AEW. Who knows? We don't know the details of it. Yada, yada, yada. But at the same time, AEW is consistently letting people go. They just I think this week they just not renewed, I think, like 3 or 4 different people's contract. So it's like, so we can't really just say like, oh, WWE is the only one who's doing it. And no, they're not. Like, that's what Tony does. And Tony, I think the only time Tony really releases somebody is you got to do some real fuck shit.
Right.
But 9 times out of 10, you just let the contracts run out. And I think that's what fans need to stop freaking out about. There's a difference between not renewing and letting not renewing a contract than releasing people. And I can't believe I'm about to say this, but I saw on Facebook, like, fucking Ryback of all people fucking explain this.
Oh,
He
geez.
was like, unfortunately, he was like, he's like, a releasing is literally cutting someone's money and their wages in X, Y, and Z. Renewing as a contract is that each party fulfilled each obligation. They just did not sign up for a new one.
That's it.
That's literally it. And that's why, and I was like in the Discord, people like blah blah. I was like, these people were not released. Please stop. I was like, stop saying they're released. They're not released. They were fulfilled their needs from each party. They got their full payment per their contract. And then that's it. It's just, that's what it is. And I hate to say, and I don't like the, capitalism, all this bullshit, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, like, both parties fulfilled their obligations at the end of the day, regardless of what you want to, like, how you want to say it. And that's what I really wish people use critical thinking. And that's what I really do think there needs to be more business minded content within wrestling, because a lot of people do not understand this.
I don't, the only way I can explain it is like, if you watch basketball and a player gets cut from a team because their cap space is too big, then you can understand what they're doing in WWE. They do it all the time. Basketball, football, soccer, in fucking baseball. They do it in every sport, every one of them. They all do it. If they're cap, because they have caps. Because the only place they don't have it in is baseball, I think, right? Baseball doesn't have a cap. Football has a cap. Basketball has a cap.
F1 doesn't have a cap, but honestly, they're the most similar to wrestling, because if you're not performing, they'll cut your contract next season. They will literally cut your contract. You will have I kid you not. And I felt so bad for him, but they really did him fucking dirty. So there's this very popular driver named Daniel Ricciardo. He was a driver for, and there's also like this very, like, I don't want to say niche, but there's always like, everyone calls this the cursed Red Bull seat, if my F1 fans know. So Max Verstappen is this really, really, really good, fucking crazy, really good driver. He's been with Red Bull his entire career. And when he first got signed, he was technically the second seat, but as a rookie, his contract was like, I think it was like $2 million more than Daniel Ricciardo, and Daniel Ricciardo been there for a couple years, and this fucking rookie is making a couple $1 million more than you. But it turned out to be a great investment, because he's now, at this time, he's a 4-time world champion. So obviously that investment worked out. So Daniel Ricciardo hopped around at a different teams. His last bout he was on, which Red Bull has 2 teams on the grid. So they have their main Red Bull team, and then they have, which quote unquote, we'll just call it the junior team. They changed their fucking name. I'm not even exaggerating, every season. It's a mess and it's a joke. Anyway, so he ended up getting he signed, he was on a couple more teams, and then he was on the junior team. And I kid you not, I think he had like maybe two races, and they're like, we're done. And cut his contract, sent him home.
I mean, I guess they figured they got more bang for their buck with the other guy.
Oh no, he wasn't even on the main team. He was on. This is when he like left, came back. Like he came back. He was on the secondary team. He wasn't even on the main Red Bull team
Well,
anymore.
shit.
But yeah, but Red Bull team, we always call it this cursed second seat because almost every person except for two drivers who have been with who have like raced with Max as his teammate, their career is fucked and it's never the same, and they end up either getting on being on like a really shitty team, which is Pierre Gasly right now, or they're just not in F1 anymore. He has like three teammates because again, I'm not gonna I'll eventually have one F1 episode so I can explain things to people, but but as the aspect is what I'm getting, that business mindset is very similar because like these people are like these drivers, they're not on no short contracts. They're on like 4, 5, 6 year contracts. But
Yes.
if you're team principal, because again, it's all about how you're placing on the grid and how many ports you're scoring for like your constructor championships for the world championship. If they see you're not doing, you will either get demoted
Or cut.
or you'll get literally cut. They just cut this poor kid. They just cut this kid, this damn rookie, not even 6 races in. They're like, you're not doing enough. Bye. Cut him from the
And
team
even
immediately.
and most of the time with the wrestling companies, you get a good piece to kind of prove your worth a little bit.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't. Sometimes I will say sometimes they cut them prematurely. They really do. But
Yeah.
there's a time where like they got people coming in and these people are here for 1 to 2 years and they're in spots where they can make it a major impact. They got some type of personality and they don't. And they're like, okay, it's been 2 years and we got to go over our fiscal year. We got this contract. We either cutting for time or we cutting for money. That is the two lanes where they going. It has nothing to do with you personally. It has nothing to do with nobody being a top superstar and they're cutting them. The veteran contracts are the bigger contracts.
Somebody was on there was like, "Oh, Natty need to be careful of her contract." I said, "They don't want to hear Brett's mouth. She gonna be all right."
Okay.
Think about it though. Look at how
They
Braun
do not want
Strowman
to hear
wrestled.
Brett's mouth. She will be fine.
They ain't gonna. She's not gonna get cut. Natalia do more backstage than she do out in the forefront.
Exactly. She's
Mm-hmm.
useful. The thing is with Natalia's useful. She's
Them girls on
making sure
Evolve.
she's making sure them girls is on check. She got
Yep.
50. They got her and TJ got 50 fucking million people in the
Yep.
dungeon. And
Yep.
she's useful. And that's why I was like saying to her, like, oh well, Natty. I said Natty got a lot going on backstage.
And
Then she
even
ain't
if
got
she
no
do,
kids,
she
so she
gonna get
cool.
something backstage. She ain't gonna even if she get cut as a performer, Natalia gonna be set. She gonna be all right. She ain't gotta worry about nothing. But I'm
If
saying
I was
y'all are
her, I
looking
would
at
put her on Evolve. Not like as a wrestler, but to run that.
I like her being backstage, being able to help out.
She said she ain't never gonna stop wrestling.
Just like a
As
heart.
long as you can.
Just like a
I mean,
heart.
they let the dudes do it.
And that's what pisses me off. Because they be talking about, oh, how did blah blah blah. I said Seth Rollins is held together by titanium and a hope and a fucking dream.
Amen.
That's all he's
She's not
selling right now.
lying.
It's a
She's
hope
not
and
lying.
a dream.
But that's the thing, and that's the thing too. I'm like, their contract is a veteran contract, if we're being honest. Their contract old. Roman's contract is old. John Cena probably got the biggest contract right now because he's the oldest of all of them.
Ooh.
Oh, hell no.
It's okay. He's leaving soon.
Hello, hello.
Oh no. We lost her.
Oh no.
Please bow y'all heads to the moment of silence for our girl.
Oh my gosh. I need to book a massage. My body is not right. It's really not. It's not doing good right now.
I'll bet you be working.
Over it. I'm hoping I get this new job.
Okay,
Me too.
look, so just finish my thought before this fucking thing cuts out on me again. It, it's not always about the people that they're cutting. Unfortunately, they can't look at it like that. If they did, they would have to keep everybody. Okay, they gotta trim somewhere. Y'all forget that they just bought AAA. Okay, and when you buy a company, not only do you absorb the contracts, you absorb the debt that they've acquired as well. And that also factors into the bottom line. This ain't about changing the superstars. And
I mean, she's right. And that's what people need to realize. Like, it's not like there's so much more that goes into it. And I think people get so upset and get so into their feelings, which I like. Again, it's human nature, all that other shit. But at the same time, oh, I know this girl. At the same time, people like I'm about to text her, see if she can get me a discount. I think people I'm being dead fucking ass. Um, People really need to like just like take a breather. Like I was one of those people. I'm not very happy about our truth. I'm never going to be happy about the our truth situation, but
that's
it's like it is what it is. My
yeah.
thing is, if Miz is gone, I probably will stop watching for a while, and I'm being dead ass.
I'm gonna tell you
Yeah.
straight up.
That's where I'm gonna real. That's honestly that's where I'm gonna put my foot down. I'm gonna watch NXT just to see my people, but that's it. I'm not watching nothing else. I'm not watching
I
a PLE, nothing.
I
I'm taking a
same here.
hiatus for them for a few months.
I don't have an issue with any of that because I understand how what some of these wrestlers mean to you. I fully get it, but I have gotten to the point where I don't I can't be emotionally involved like that or I won't watch at all because there's been a lot. There's been a lot going on with WWE period that has really pissed me off. And I'm like, well, this could be my final straw. Like this could be it for me. But then I'll be like, I'll miss watching it. I'll miss being able to see the other people. And I really, as much as I love the people that they are cutting, and I'll support them in wherever they go, no matter what. But I would most definitely support if I could. But as stubborn as I am, I don't think I could stop watching because I don't train myself. I mentally and put myself in a box where I'm just like, this is a part of the business, and this is This is unfortunately an unfortunate. It's one of them unfortunate pieces that you have to deal with when it comes to this business. There's a lot of people that I've seen that was put up on the chopping block. I just saw Karrion Cross today. Gunther was somebody that they mentioned, talk about he was leaving. Miz's contract is supposed to be up later on to this month. So they were saying he might be one of the people on the chopping block. I saw Natalya being brought up. They was like, everybody is in danger if you are wrestling in WWE. And while to a certain extent, yes, that's true. I generally believe it has to do with more so of there's no room for them to be used. And I think that has a lot to do with it. It kind of goes with what we was talking about Wednesday when we talked about Money in the Bank and how Triple H is possibly using that for the storyline that's going on Raw, which Money in the Bank shouldn't be used that way, in my opinion, unless it's in dire need, right? But there's other ways that Seth Rollins could possibly get a title shot against Jey Uso besides him getting Money in the Bank for a second time. It's unnecessary things like that that make it hard for other people to get opportunities on TV. Like, instead of putting El Grande Americano in the Money in the Bank, you could have put Karrion Cross in there, seeing as how he has a lot of buzz online.
Hell, you could have fucking put anybody. They could have put Sam. Oh my god.
It's so many people that could have been in there.
I'm so irritated by that men's match.
That's another problem, is the wonky booking and how everything looks. And I just need them to pull it together. Like, y'all were doing good. You got yourself straightened out. Y'all not under Vince no more. But at the same time, you got Vince-esque tactics. You just wrapping them differently. And I need y'all to get it together. And I need the fans. I know y'all mad. You can be mad. I'm not telling you not to be mad. But I'm also telling you, when you see these videos online, and this happens across the board with any type of entertainment, with any type of information you see, just because they sit in front of the microphone and they're talking really slow and everything seems to fit into the box, doesn't mean that it does. You have to have context in order to understand most information that or from Nicole, even Don and them when they come over here, and Alexis. I promise you that it is nothing that we have found out or we're trying to fit into this box of the narrative that we believe to be true. 90% of the information you're getting is because of our background and where we come from. I am not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you the truth because you need to hear it. And it's mainly so you can really understand what you're watching and have a better outlook at watching it. So you won't have such this emotional reaction to these types of things, because this is corporate business. Really, this ain't nothing for the fans to be concerned about, other than you said that this man is no longer going to be on TV no more, or this woman is not going to be on TV no more. The type of discourse that people are having when it comes to this conversation is lacking the information and not process it right. And then going forward, you won't have this reaction. You'll understand what is going on specifically. All right? That's it. That's all.
That's it. That's all.
That's all. Donnie, you got something to say about it, or are you good?
Nope. Y'all said it perfectly. Good job.
Not good job.
Not good, John. Lash Legend is so tall and it's so funny.
I love her.
I
Her
said
and Jordan
I
Grace in
said
the
that's a
video.
big bitch.
And she is. So
You're so behind
speaking,
Lash.
I love Lash. I wanted Lash to be the next one to challenge
That video
challenge
that
title.
Jordan posted. Have
With
you
her and
seen
Jordan.
it? Yeah. I said Jordan is sick. I can't stand her. Have you seen it? Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And Jordan looking up at Lash. And
She's
Lash
so
was like on
funny.
Amazon.
She's so funny.
That child special.
Jordan is special. That shit's so.
She
You know what's
is.
funny? It's gonna get worse when she goes on the main roster.
Dead ass.
The material that she will have
So
is going to the
we
point where
didn't.
they gonna be like, "Ugh, take that lady's phone."
The best one was her and Zaria.
Yeah, somebody back there is gonna be like, Hunter, we gotta take that lady's phone while she's here.
I'll take it.
Put it in the lockbox. They gonna put her phone in the
Give me your
lockbox while
phone.
she's here. Be like, I'm gonna let you post it, and then I'm taking your phone.
No, I'm an enabler. I'm like, you ever listen to Clean Radio? It's real good material on there.
Okay.
Cut his mic.
Cut the mic. Okay, what else are we talking about before we get too derailed?
We are talking about the one, the only, the glamour.
Glamour Miss No Name. Once someone said that Blair Davenport, I was like, oh, that would have ate.
Yeah. Let's brainstorm some names.
I want to keep Mariah because I really like Mariah as a first name.
That's her first name.
I feel like we should keep it. Mariah K.
Mm.
I don't know.
By Mariah J.
Mariah Jane.
Hmm.
Mariah. No, I want to say Bane, but that's too close to Megan Bane at AEW. Mm.
Oh, please.
I can't think of a good last name. I would want to keep it Mariah May. Which I feel like she could because that's not her real name. Mariah, I think May is just her middle name. Her last name is Mead. So I feel like as a collective, she should be able to keep it. I think that's what the issue was Ricky, is because that's like his real name. I mean, May is her real name, but again, that's not her real last name. It's Mead, which is very English once you really think about it.
All right.
So we preemptively started talking about Mariah May, so you can lead into the real actual conversation about it, because we were just brainstorming new last names for her.
Some new last names for Mariah May.
Yeah.
Well, why you can't just go by Mariah?
No, I want to have. I hate that shit. That was remind me too much of Vince when everybody just has one name. I want her to have two names. She's always had two names. Let's keep her with two names. I think she should. Hopefully, she's able to stay with Mariah May. I said May is only her middle name. Her last name is Mead. But I don't know. But we can transition fully into the conversation.
Okay, well, what's the names y'all came up with? If you said it, I didn't hear you.
Honestly, they aren't worth repeating. They aren't that good.
Well, I said Destiny Wales earlier. Or they could
Who
use
don't really have a name for her?
they could use Gretchen.
You want to call her Gretchen?
Don't you
No,
fucking dare.
no,
Don't you
Don.
ever give my girl that name.
No.
I'd fucking stab you.
Of all the names, why? Why would you pick Gretchen?
Don't ever give my girl that name. That is crazy. I will fucking fight you.
Can't none of you bum bitches sit with me and Gretchen.
Ew, I don't like
Ew,
that. I
that's
don't
sick.
like that at all.
All right. Well, speaking of Mariah May, she showed up way earlier than
You could
I
call her
even thought.
Regina.
I mean, I don't know. I kind of didn't think she
Regina.
would show up this far, but when I saw that they had Jamie was going to basically do a state of address in NXT, I said this stinks. Something about
Yeah.
and not stink bad, but it's just something about this smells funky.
Mhm.
And I like tweeted, I was like, does anyone think that lady's going to show up tonight? And I was like, when I tell you, I'm so happy that that my neighbors, I think, were at work because I fucking screamed.
I knew she was gonna scream.
No, my sister was talking. I said, wait, hold that thought. I was like,
Them lights went out and everybody held their breath. It's like, oh
I don't
shit.
know who I thought it was. I didn't think I low key didn't think I don't know who I thought it was. I just thought it was somebody. I don't know who I thought it was
I was
gonna be.
just
I
like,
thought it was
bitch,
just
who
gonna be
is it?
somebody. Yeah, I thought it was just gonna be someone who hasn't been there for a second. I was like, oh, I got scared. I don't know who I thought. I didn't think who. I think also I didn't have enough time to like process who I think it would be, but I didn't think it
Hmm.
was gonna be her at the same time.
Okay.
But then I did, but it was I don't know, but I was like, she's gonna show up eventually. But I was like, holy shit.
That was pretty cool. Not gonna lie. I
Apparently they
really
kept
liked
it
it.
very, very under wraps. They said only a couple people knew,
Well,
which you have
good
to
job.
nowadays. You have to.
They did a good job. Bitch, you did a good job. You did a good job.
Yeah. So, and this is also debunks that earlier man's comments because
Mm.
this is somebody who has everything.
Hmm.
So you can't really use that argument when you have them bringing in someone like this. Like
And you
this
know
is a
what?
game
Natalia said
changer.
she got everything too. She was
Yeah, I
like, I
think
think Mariah's gonna be just fine.
she has everything. And then someone and people are like hooting and hollering at this guy, and he was like, I'm gonna say this, and he's like, and I'm going to stand by this. He was like, this is the biggest signing of AEW since Cody Rhodes. And he's like, I will stand
Well,
by this.
that's true. I'm not. That's a fair assessment. So
He was like, I will 100% stand by this because think about how she ended at her end at AEW. It was perfect.
yeah.
And God forbid, if things don't work out here, she has a great way to come back. So that's what I was saying before. I was like, I don't think she necessarily needs to go right away. But I was like, if she did, she still has and if she ever wanted to go back there, she has
She
a
got the
great way to,
spine.
yeah, she has a great way to come back.
Hmm.
But she's what? She's like fucking 26.
She's very young.
She ain't even at her prime.
yeah.
Nope.
And that's what
But
like
she's
I
gonna be.
want people to understand. Like she ain't even she's up and up. I said she ain't even hit a peak.
That's why I say I understand people's frustration when it comes to stuff like this, but I really need y'all to just calm down. and just let stuff play out. And I not trying to marginalize our truth, but our truth is gonna be fine. Like generally, he's gonna be
Honestly,
fine.
they're probably Hunter knows. I guess they probably know people are fucking pissed. Apparently, they are very, very, very well aware of the backlash about the Mania.
Oh, they have no
He,
choice. They was chanting
yeah,
it at NXT and on Monday Night Raw,
yeah.
so they know.
So they know about truth. They know people are fucking pissed about Mania, which I am honestly more pissed about that than anything.
Yeah, Mania
Because
going
that's
to
very, I feel like that's very,
Vegas.
very inconsiderate. Because like I said, I was literally like, I know people like we like start like the people like in my one Discord like literally started a hotel block already. Like people like they know people start planning like soon as they know, because obviously we know ahead of time when the next location is, so everybody starts planning already. So I just felt like that's just so garbage and dirty and inconsiderate, knowing how fans like plan ahead once we know when the next location is. Just so you can make some fucking, and then apparently have the same exact setup, which was a nightmare traveling because the Ubers are so expensive. You can't really get around unless you actually stay on the strip, and even that isn't that great depending on how far down you are on the strip. Like,
I honestly
no.
think it's terrible. Even the damn superstars hated it.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, why? It is because it's because they made so much money. Because again, everything is so damn expensive down there. And then also
I
because Vegas probably begged them because tourism is so bad there now.
So what? It's other places that need fucking tourism too.
If they went to
Like
LA,
that's
I'm honestly I wouldn't go to LA. But if they went to LA or whatever, I'd be like, whatever, fuck it.
it's
But the
other places
fact
that definitely use the tourism. Like that's crazy.
That is so crazy to go back to Las Vegas. And it's just like, and not only that, is the travel to it.
I'm just I'm just irritated by that.
Yeah,
And I don't like the fact
that's what I'm pissed about.
they're not considering the other fans that want to see wrestling and can't afford to travel to Las Vegas. That is very expensive. Not
It's just,
everybody can afford that.
and you got that fucking mayor or prime minister or whatever of London begging for a mania. I wouldn't have been pissed. Honestly, I wouldn't have been pissed if they went change it to London.
I wouldn't be mad about that
I would have
either.
been mad. I was like, you know what, whatever. I'll just
Fuck
go,
it.
whatever. I'll just go next year. I'm not mad about that because I would like that because you would think about the atmosphere, whatever. I'm fine with that. But Vegas,
No,
Vegas,
no, I'm not okay with
Vegas,
Vegas.
you missed me with that fucking shit.
No. All right, y'all. I promise y'all we're not gonna talk out here all too much today.
And then we'll
And I
talk about
did
something else. But I'm gonna tell people if you want to really dig in their pockets, don't buy no ticket. Don't go.
no for real.
I'm dead ass serious. Do not go.
If nobody goes to Mania next year, or a lot of people don't go, and the ticket sales are down, they'll get the message. That's how
Yes.
you really hurt a lot of people's pockets.
That's
Look
how
at
you hurt
Target.
WWE is when you don't spend money.
You
Don't
fuck with
spend
their
no
money.
money. Stay your ass at home. Do not go. I don't care if you're
Yep.
going just to go to NXT, and I love NXT. Don't go. Don't go to the NXT show. Don't go there just so you could go to, and I hate to say it, and I really hate this for the indies. Honestly, if you do go, only go to the indie shows. Don't go to the superstore. Don't do anything that is officially. Don't go to any fanatics bullshit that's going on. Don't go to a single fucking thing. If you're gonna go there, go to see some indie shows. Because I went to a lot of great indie shows while I was there. That's what I did majority of the time I was there. And don't
Mhm.
go to a single WWE affiliated thing.
I 1000% agree. So what y'all want, but if you are trying to get people and you want WWE to make changes, you got to hit them in their pockets. And if you got a big enough influence and a big enough following, tell your people and pass it along. They'll get the message. All right. We got one more thing to cover or two more things to cover, and then I promise we're going to be done. Okay. So we got Worlds Collide this weekend. It's at 3 p.m. on YouTube. It's YouTube. Don't go to Peacock. Don't be DMing me asking me where you watching it at. I don't want to hear that. Because I'm telling you where the fuck to watch it at. Okay? You watch it on YouTube at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay? If you're on the West Coast, it should be 11 p.m., 11 a.m. That's 11 a.m. for you. Or whatever.
Ain't
Figure
that
it out.
fun?
Do the math. Okay? Get you a calculator or something. I don't know what to tell you. Okay? Now we got a bunch of tag matches on this card. I don't know why we didn't get no singles matches outside of Chad Gable and them, but all of the matches are tag matches with the exception of Gable and Vikingo. Okay. So you have LWO. They have switched out Joaquin for Dragon Lee and Lindsay Dorado. So Lindsay Dorado is in there. Joaquin is injured. He got knocked out somewhere. They said he was doing something and he got knocked out and he is under concussion protocol, so he cannot compete.
He
So
got
they put
knocked out
in
on main event, I believe.
it was main event.
Mm.
Okay, so he's under concussion protocol and Lindsay Dorado has taken his place. And they're gonna go up against look, I'm not gonna be able to tell y'all these people names because I'm not looking at it at the moment. Y'all just got to see their face, and then when y'all watch it, they will announce who they are. Don't judge me, goddammit. I'm just trying not to mess up these people's names, especially when I don't know all of their names. And this match was the last match added, so I didn't get to look over this match or repeat it over and over again. Okay. Then you got Vikingo going up against Chad Gable. Vikingo and Chad Gable's matches for the AAA Mega Championship. Okay. So they're going to be fighting for this title. Chad Gable's pulling double duty Saturday. Okay. I'll explain in a second. The only women's match on there has to do with Stephanie Baker and Lola Vice going up against Delisa and Chick Tormente. Okay. This is the only women's match on the card. It's also a tag team match. Then you have the six-man tag team match with Legado del Fantasma, and it's got Psycho Clown, Dr. Wagner Jr., and I don't know the other dude's name. Okay, I'm sorry. And then you have the Fatal Four Way. The Fatal Four Way has to do with Ethan Page and his North American Championship. He's going to be defending it against Javon Evans, Laredo Kid, and Ray Phoenix from SmackDown. That is everything that's going to happen on the card for Worlds Collide. Okay. To be fair, it's Worlds Collide, so whoever wins is whoever wins. I don't see Chad Gable winning or beating Vikingo, and I don't see Ethan Page losing his title at Worlds Collide. I don't see that happening. Is it possible? Yes, because they've been known to swerve us, but I just don't see it happening. All right. So I'm not going to make them do predictions on those matches, but they are going to do predictions on this. We're going to start off with Money in the Bank. All right. Money in the Bank has two matches for the one for the women and one for the men. Let's start off with the match we actually care about, which is the women's match. Nicole, you give your winner and your dark horse. Then Don, you give your winner and your dark horse, and I'll give mine, and we'll go to the men's match and do the same.
Mm.
The men's match is gonna be so uninteresting. Um, my winner is, I think it's gonna be Naomi. I'm never right about this, but I hope I'm right. I hope I'm right this time. For some reason, I can never get Money in the Bank. I hope it's Naomi. My dark horse is Stephanie.
Mm.
Mm.
I would
Okay,
say
Donna.
Rhea, but if Rhea gets that, I need her to lose it. Because still, as of now, the women have, I think the women are 100% cash in rate. The men are around 75 to 78%.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. They do need to have a failed cash in. I agree.
Should have been last year.
And that's facts.
Yeah. Weak ass Nia Jax.
I feel so bad for her. That lady keep getting cashed in on.
Ooh, child.
Yeah, Charlotte got cashed in on
Charlotte get
today.
cashed on the most. Oh, Charlotte. Poor Charlotte.
She said she
All
told
right.
oh, they want to cash in. No.
Yep. And what she should have told Tiffany is like, well, every time I get the title, every time it was around, I was champion, and these hoes was cashing in on me. I thought I would just return the favor. That's it. That's all. But anyways, Donnie, who's your pick and who's your dark horse?
My pick is Rhea.
Ew, I hate you.
Because she need to lose. I don't want her to win and be successful.
That's just diabolical.
But I'm like, at the same time, while that's going, Liv need to be getting kicked out the Judgment Day. And it just needs to just go to dust.
That's interesting. All
And
right.
then, somehow they're going to make up, whatever. My dark horse,
Now,
I'd have to say, I say Bliss.
really,
Yeah.
I would love it if she got it, honestly.
The horror. The horror. Oh.
I I think that Naomi's gonna win it. I hope that she wins it. I'll say it that way. My dark horse is Roxanne. I think if Naomi doesn't get it, Roxanne's gonna take it. Um, I like this women's Money in the Bank a lot. It's got a lot of potential. It's much better than last year's. They got a good mix of women in this one. I'm really excited for this Money in Bank. I'm really excited. So let's go to the menzies. Okay. Nicole, you have to pick someone
I
and you have to pick a
this is
dark
so
horse.
nasty. Ugh. I hate everything about this. That man Seth is gonna win.
I hate that she's right. I
Yeah,
hate
I'm
that she's
right.
right.
Because
I hate it.
I always get the men. The women are real wonky for me. Seth is gonna unfortunately win. Um, I can see them doing this to piss people off, and since Triple H don't like it, he's gonna give it to that El Grande motherfucker.
You better not.
Either way, it's gonna piss everybody off.
I'll beat your bald headed ass. The fuck?
I already said I'm gonna turn that pacemaker off for a couple seconds.
Jesus.
Not long, not long, just like 2-3 seconds, just to
He
wake him
gonna
up a
stop
little
playing
bit.
with me.
I'm
You
so
let him
that
do
would
that.
piss
I
me
just need to wake him
off.
up for a little bit, just like ooh, like yeah. I just need you to wake up a little bit.
I can't with her.
Cause why didn't you put time and thought into this?
It's, it's like they did a randomizer. Like this is weird.
It's very weird.
It's 2K ass match.
This is what
I
this
know
is.
dead ass. Dead ass.
Someone, well, they was like, oh shit, I don't know who to put in the men's Money in the Bank, and they literally, someone went on 2K, and they was like, okay, this is what came up.
All right, Don. Who you got?
For no reason at all, let's just say Solo Sikoa.
Oh, bitch. God. All right.
And my dark horse, I'll say LA Knight.
Um, I'm going to pick LA Knight to win, and I'm gonna say that my dark horse is I'm gonna give it to Penna. I think one of them should win it. Ugh, it's such an ugly match, and it's because Nicole is 1,000% right. I hope she's wrong. I really do. I will
Hoping
fucking
right.
cry.
It's probably gonna close. No, it's probably I might close out the show. It might be second to last. Mm-mm-mm.
I will fucking cry if Seth wins this shit. I
You
promise
better
you, I'm
go get some
crying.
tissues.
You better shut your filthy mouth. Shut your filthy mouth. All right, let's go to the next match. You got Lyra facing off against Becky, and they have a stipulation in this match, okay? In this match, Becky wins. All Lyra got to do is raise her hand, and it's donezo deal. If Lyra wins, then Becky can never challenge for the Intercontinental Women's Championship ever. So, Nicole, who you got?
Lyra, a baby gonna come back.
Johnny, who you got?
I'm gonna go delusional.
And what does the delusion mean? You going with Becky?
Becky, yeah.
So, all right. I'm gonna go Lyra. I think Lyra's gonna win. Even if Bailey do show up, I still think Lyra's gonna win. If she don't or if she do, it's up to her. Now we got one match left. And all right. So it's the tag match with Jay Uso, Cody, Seth. I mean not Seth, but John and Logan Paul. Nicole, you gotta pick somebody. I know you don't care, but you gotta pick somebody.
Oh, John and that man are gonna win,
Okay.
and then Jay's gonna get cashed in on.
I hate you didn't even have to say that shit.
It's gonna
You just
happen.
you just keep that to yourself.
I don't want to see it, but I know what's gonna happen.
Don, you gotta pick.
I'm going to agree.
Ew. Okay. We need to have an opposition. I'm gonna pick Jay and Cody to win.
I mean, we didn't need to.
Yeah, we did.
You felt the need to.
Fuck you. All right. That is it. Money in the Bank and Worlds Collide this week. This is gonna be on Saturday. Everybody is expected to be there at SmackDown, by the way. Um, Let me see if I got the SmackDown graphics.
That's
Oh,
to
I
get a
do.
SmackDown.
Ooh.
Oh, that's tomorrow. Or SmackDown's in LA,
Mm-hmm.
right?
I want to say yes. They have a 6-woman tag team match tomorrow with all the participants from the Money in the Bank ladder match for the women. Rhea, Alexa, and Stephanie will be on one side, and Naomi, Julia, and Roxanne will be on the other. I feel like they should have switched Roxanne with Alexa Bliss. Kind of mix that up a bit. But whatever. And then they made sure that everybody who is competing in Money in the Bank is going to be on the show tomorrow. I don't know what they're going to do with the men, but they do have this match set up for the women, and they've already announced that everybody from Money in the Bank is going to be at SmackDown tomorrow. And Cody Rhodes, Jay Uso, Logan Paul, and John are all supposed to be there as well before their match on Saturday at Money in the Bank. All right. Now listen, Money in the Bank starts at 7. They do have a pre-show at 5. It's up to you to watch the pre-show. I usually don't watch the countdown because I'm not trying to listen to Randall from Recess with Megan talking about these matches for 2 hours. I don't feel like listening to that. And they usually have the panel come in after that and do the panel with Big E and everything. And if you care about all of that, you can watch that. That's totally up to you. I just rather tune in about 15 minutes before the show starts, and then I'll be watching um, Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank starts at 7. Worlds Collide starts at 3. These are all Eastern Standard Time. Okay. I promise y'all we'll be back next week. Hopefully Alexis will feel better and we'll be back in full force. Janae had to work today, so she couldn't be a part of the show. But maybe next time, if we do the pod on her off day, she'll be able to pop in some more. Thank you, Donnie, for being here and helping us out this week. I appreciate you. And we're going to be out of here. Y'all have a good night. We'll talk to you later.